Yo, 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 yo. You already know what it is. It's your motherfucking boy, Cage in the basement. We live, we lit, and I'm back. New Jersey Twork versus Loso. Hey, yo, I'm going to just say this off the rip. Shout out to these brothers. They put on a fire battle for the Civil War card, and this was a very, very anticipated battle for a minute. I believe even before Loso got to the URL, a lot of people have been talking about this battle. So, yeah, with that being said, what happened? Twork comes out round one off the rip with I Shook His Pride. Went into a whole little scenario about that little play on those words. That was fire. Yo, he had a Jesus turning water into wine line, but he seen his father turn coke to crack. That was fucking crazy. Yo, Twork came back electrifying off the rip. He actually, the funny part is the nigga actually grabbed Loso and shook him physically, because I guess that's a play on Loso little slogan he say about, a certain type of Christian he is. That was funny as hell. Then he went into a strapped in. This first round was already electrifying up until this point. Then when he went into that strapped in, man, he broke the fucking roof off the building. That shit looked so dope. When you look at this first round as a whole, Twork was full of energy. He was almost flawless. I don't even think I calculated a small stumble in there. He was on point. It didn't look like he was forgetting any of his material. It really looked like he was feeding off the crowd, so I was kind of impressed. I'm like, there we go. Twork looked like he's back. Loso comes out round one. His first opening line was kind of fire too, man. Shout out to Loso. He came out, it's obvious you ain't good, dodge and wreck. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of a low blow too, Loso. I knew you was going to play on that. Most people that battle Twork gonna bring up his car accident, but that was kind of cool. You know what I mean? He had a little strapped in flip too. Like, that was kind of funny too. You know what? I like the way Loso was cooking in the beginning, but for some reason, it seemed like he had a lot of Jersey flips, a lot of Twork flips, a lot of name flips in general. Now, it was good material, and I like it had a specific approach to it. You know what I mean? Like, he was basically trying to say Twork is not really like that, and he be lying about whether or not he carry guns and shit. I don't know. I like the approach. I do like a lot of the lines, but for some reason, the name flips toward the end of that round seem to be a little excessive when you got a guy like Twork being so direct and so electrifying. I don't think the name flips was enough. But still, it was a good round from him. He was showing some decent flows and some little pockets he was getting into, trying to prove that he's just a better all-around rapper than Twork, but I still was like, this round wasn't enough to beat what Twork just did. So we basically getting into the second round now. Now, Twork came out with a rebuttal about Coffee Brown. That was funny, man. I thought that shit was hilarious, and I thought it was real risky. For somebody that doesn't really show consistency in keeping up with their battles and remembering their material, it was kind of risky for him to throw a rebuttal in there, especially at the top of the second when he's already up one. But he took the risk and it worked out. It paid off. It was dope. And I like his approach in the second round as well. He's basically saying Loso was a big contradiction. That was real fire. See, I really like both of their approaches, but Twork was a little less of the name flips and more of a direct, I'm going to get at you for this, that, and the third. I like that. That was real dope to me. Yo, he had that pursuit of happiness line. Oh, man. Jesus, that was crazy, man. Then he got into like the Twork bounce after that. And every time this guy does that bounce, everybody loses their fucking mind. Like, he's one of the few battle rappers that have a special move where he doesn't have to say anything. It's like Murder Mook putting a do-rag on or Daylight putting a mask on. All he got to do is bounce, and niggas gonna lose their fucking mind every time. The shit is fire to me. Oh, my God. The nigga had that Cinderella line. Oh, man, all these horses gonna turn into rats? See, that's what I mean. Them clever-ass lines like that is why Twork is one of the best. It's like, he'll be walking you up the block this way and then snatch your ass the other way real quick with the punchline. Like, you almost never see it coming. And it's so effective. Like, most people who do these intricate punchlines, even Rum Nitty, he hit you from left field, but you can kind of see it through the setup where he's going with it. It's rare he catch you from left field. The punch is usually so creative that it doesn't matter that we get walked into it and we see it a mile away. But with Twork, it's always off guard, always from left field. He keep you looking right, then slap you from the left every time. Like that 21 Jump Street line. Like, I make 21 Jump Street. Come on, man. Like, that shit, man. A lot of y'all young cats don't even know what the hell that is. That's an old TV show. Y'all can look that up. That shit was fire, man. Your boy was back in rare form at this point. Yo, he did another strapped in. I'm like, oh, come on, man. This is overkill at this point. The nigga did another strapped in, man. Like, toward the end of the second round. Oh, man. Shook the building. You know, every time he do his finishing moves, is taking the building off the fucking roof. Or the roof off the building, my bad, pardon me. Yo, oh, man, that Four Brothers line, oh, man, when he jumped in A-Ward face and all that, oh, man, fire round. Round 2, Loso comes out. You know, he had a little line about twerk moms. Look, I always get cringy when people start talking about parents and kids and shit because, you know, you niggas don't play with their mother and niggas don't play with their kids. A lot of shit is a go. You can say but certain approaches you take towards somebody's mother is like crossing the line. Not like Loso did any of that, but I always get like real cringy when somebody start mentioning somebody's moms and stuff. But you know, Loso kept it respectful or whatnot, and that's dope. Yo, he had a decent angle about like Twork bowing to others. Like, it was like a good play on words, a nice little entendre. I like that. Yeah, then he got back into the car accident angle. Now, I know a lot of people was going really get at Twork for this, and he was like dissing Twork for his bad performances. But for some reason, none of that segment about Twork's bad performances was hitting as hard because Twork just gave you 2 solid rounds. So all of them lines about his previous battles and, you know, him not showing up, they were pretty good, but they wasn't as impactful because he's actually came to play today, so it didn't have maximum effect. He did mention the crowd being asleep. I guess he, you know, wasn't feeling like they was giving him his proper respect, but he kept rapping. I like when battle rappers, even though they feel like they don't really have necessarily got the building or the crowd on their side, they can still punch through it and keep fighting. That shows a great level of professionalism. So shout out to Loso for that. Yo, he had a part where he basically repeated his slogan, like, you know, like, try that stuff with the other Christians, the sucker Christians, the type that won't do nothing if you touch them Christians. And it was kind of funny because Twork just literally shook you up like a rag doll. You didn't do shit. Like A-Ward started popping off. And it's like, dog, he just shook you. And you didn't touch him. You didn't do nothing. So that was kind of funny. I don't know. Maybe you should have flipped that and try to spin that a different way. But he did have a little funny segment at the end. I kind of liked his round. He closed out pretty good. He fought through, you know, whatever heckling or whatever, you know, appreciation the crowd wasn't giving. And I think it was dope, but it wasn't nowhere near enough. At this point, I'm pretty sure he's in a losing battle and he's fighting uphill, but he still came to fight. So now getting into Twork's third round, I feel like his third round was even impressive. It didn't seem like he was losing any steam. It's like, damn, the boy is dancing up there, literally dancing on this dude. I'm like, god damn, like he came fully prepared. And this is what we all know. If Twork come fully prepared, the if factor, we're going to get into that too. He's probably the most best dude in the world. Like, he's phenomenal. Like, he doesn't look like anybody can beat him when he's doing that shit the way he do. It doesn't look like it's going to look like everybody's going to have a tough night up there, not just Loso. You know what I mean? He had a little slick talk towards Beasley. His mic got messed up, but it's like he still was doing his thing with his mic messing up the whole battle. Like, it didn't really matter, man. 3 very, very, very good rounds from New Jerzey Twork. I'm pretty sure Smack, Beasley, Chico, everybody was happy to see this kid come back and give that performance we know he can do. That crowd was electrified. Everybody was excited to see him back. So, fire battle, man. I was happy, man. I was satisfied. That's one of them joints where you kind of look like you wanted to be there to really get the full effect. But nevertheless, it looked dope on camera. Now, Loso came out in his third round. He had a very, very fire approach, man, saying Twork is basically the first person in battle rap with the if factor. Like, if he shows up, if he has 3 rounds, if he don't Jersey. Like, that's true. Like, Twork does have the if factor. And not a lot of people get that type of leeway. So I really, really, really like that approach. It was super dope. But once again, he's saying this after Twork just gave us a flawless performance. So even though that's a very funny, very clever segment, it did not hit as hard. You can't say that after Twork gave us 3 solid rounds. And this is when I want to mention this is another rare instance where I think Loso going last kind of hurt him. Because if he says that first and then Twork has to actually try to seal the deal before that line just means more, the battle kind of goes different. So this is one of them real instances where Twork going first actually helped him. It helped him set the bar very, very high. Those reactions he was getting was so high and impactful at the end of the night, nevertheless, and Loso never really matched that energy. So, like I said, this is one of the rare instances where going first helped the advantage. And Loso had the last word, and it still wasn't enough. Twork was way too powerful in his battle. I'm calling this battle 3-0 New Jerzey Twork clear. You could debate Loso probably in the third, but I wouldn't even do that because even with Twork's mic issues and his slight shortening of his round toward the end, I think it was more than enough haymakers to take out whatever Loso was trying to do. In Loso's round, it kind of was null and void when you add up the fact that Twork just showed out. So, yeah, all in all, fire battle from both brothers. I'm excited. This is like the first battle I decided to watch on this card, so I was real hyped to get this review out. But, yeah, man. Holla at your motherfucking boy. It's your boy Cage in the basement. And I'm out, man.